which is the new Black actress Emma Myles, is using this week to speak about her past and how cooking has helped her. Her debut cookbook offers ways to find joy in food while sharing her own personal stories. It's called The Trigger Kitchen, Dismantling Diet Culture, one unapologetic recipe at a time. Good thing for us, Emma is here this morning. It is so great to meet you.
It's so great to meet you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
We're just two girls just chit-chatting about, she got her nails done, she chipped it on a bobby pin. I look like a train wreck as usual, and we just call that Monday here.
And you look perfect. Don't even worry about it.
Talk to us about The Trigger Kitchen. Great name, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, no, the title came about, I was in eating disorder recovery, and I knew that I was going to keep being triggered because I could feel it.
Right.
It was happening all the time, and I kind of got to a place where I was like, okay, I can either let all of that in and get into a dysfunctional place, or I can find an outlet. And I was like, you know what, every time I feel triggered, big or small, I'm going to cook something.
Okay.
And it quieted my mind. I realized that it made the voice stop.
Sure.
And I just kept doing it, and then I got to a point where I was just cooking for fun.
Congratulations, by the way. That is
you.
a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
I hope you're very proud of yourself.
I am.
Because in full disclosure, I watched you religiously, and I never would have guessed. And I know it's acting, so you're also a good actor. But being able to use your platform and to come to terms with something is very courageous.
Yeah,
so
thank
congratulations.
you.
That's a lot. Now, what was your cooking experience before all of this?
I mean, I cooked, I would bake with my mom, but my relationship with food was always really dysfunctional. And you're kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, my relationship with my body is dysfunctional. So my relationship with food is dysfunctional.
Right.
My relationship with food is dysfunctional. So my
Right.
relationship with my body is dysfunctional. And I got to a point where I was just like, I think I've never actually connected to food.
Right.
I'm like, maybe that is the reason
That's the thing.
why.
Right.
Maybe that's like the missing link, is I've been kind of keeping myself a stranger.
Sure,
It's
you're like
this,
adjacent to it, but not really.
Like it's this enemy that like is either going to do something bad to me, or I can use it as a tool for more self-destruction. And
Well, I'm glad you're using it for the forces of good.
Yeah.
And not self-destruction. Well, I have to say, I don't know what we're triggering here, but it all looks delicious because I see cereal.
Yes.
And I see marshmallows.
Yeah.
So what are we making here?
Well, it's funny because this is actually, it's the last recipe in the book.
Okay.
These are called Over the Rainbow bars. And they're very symbolic of my recovery.
Okay.
Because you think about, they come from the chapter called The Land Before Dysfunction.
Okay.
So it's like, there was a time where we weren't crying in dressing rooms. We weren't thinking about our pant sizes. We weren't thinking about these things. And that was generally like when we were children.
Right.
And you're like, how do I get back to that place? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm not responding because I'm literally thinking about, you're absolutely right.
We lost it.
We just went out and played. We just went out and especially if you're a woman, suddenly you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the diet culture around us, beating us over the head at every second.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we've got things like you and your book and all this other stuff that's going to help us just eat for the joy of eating.
Yeah, it's about restoring joy.
Yeah.
Because we did have it.
We did.
Like, right?
Let's go restore joy, Emma. What are we doing here?
Okay, so basically these are just like Rice Krispie treats, but made with Lucky Charms. And okay, so we're gonna use like a stick of butter.
Yeah.
And that's room temperature.
Unsalted or salted, doesn't matter. Whatever's available.
I mean, I think YOLO. Like, honestly,
whatever is in the thing.
My sister has this whole thing about like salted butter. She like loves it.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like, whatever. This recipe, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna add some salt anyways.
I love these ramekins, by the way.
Thank you.
Are they part of your collection?
They are. They are.
I
Originally,
mean,
I got them from Anthropology, but
I
they're
love them.
discontinued now, so you can get them on Amazon. Okay, and then so you just wait for the butter to melt, like the general idea.
Yeah.
And then this is about 6 cups of marshmallows. Sure. Okay. And then you're gonna get half a teaspoon of salt. See, this is why, like, if you're gonna use salted butter, you can just like omit this.
Omit it, but you used unsalted, and there's you're hitting it with the little.
And then this is vanilla. And then you just kind of like let that roll and let it like melt down, heat down, get it done, cool.
Yeah.
So I like to put Rice Krispies in because the first time I made these, there was the ratio was too much mallow.
And it was a little too.
It was a little I mean, it was still delicious, but it
was a lot to get around.
You need some kind of bulk.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. I like that.
And then so we're basically just gonna wait for this to melt. Cool.
And the magic of television.
With the magic of television.
Dun, da, da, da.
Compliments of
Stop
my
it.
manager. He was like, "You're gonna need that." I was like, "No, I'm not." So then
You put it all in the bowl.
and then you just put it all in the bowl. Everything is fun. Everything is.
While you're doing this, can you tell us about the event? You know what? I'll do
Yes.
this. You tell me about your
Ooh,
event.
do it! Help!
Yeah.
I love kitchen
Yeah.
help.
I'll be your sous chef all day. All day.
I'm doing a signing and a Q&A and a talk back at the Housing Works bookstore.
Oh my God.
In Soho.
Love
on
it.
Friday the 28th, 6 to 8. It's gonna be in collaboration with Project Heal.
Thank you. And all the things.
Yeah.
Don't forget, pick up a copy of the book, The Trigger Kitchen. Today, meet Emma this Friday at the Housing Works bookstore on Crosby Street. Thank you.
Thank you.